In a nation as vast and diverse as Nigeria, regional comparisons are often clouded by history, politics, and perception. For decades, the Southeast has been described by some as underdeveloped, a claim that lingers in the headlines and conversations across the country. But how true is this narrative? In this documentary, we travel across 10 capital cities, 5 from the southeast and 5 from the southwest, to uncover the real picture of development, governance, and growth. We will explore Enugu and Ibadan, Awka and Akure, Owerri and Osogbo, Abakaliki and Oguta, Umuahia and Ado-Ekiti, cities that represent not just administrative centers, but symbols of identity, ambition, and resilience. This is not a competition. It is a mirror, a balanced exploration of how two cultural powerhouses, the Igbo East and the Yoruba West, have evolved in Nigeria's post-independence story. A journey that reveals how beyond stereotypes, both regions continue to redefine what progress means in Africa's largest democracy. Our journey begins with two historic cities, Enugu in the east and Ibadan in the west. Both cities hold powerful legacies, yet their stories are often told through different lenses. Ibadan, once the largest city in West Africa, was a powerhouse of the old Western region. It is the home to the University of Ibadan, Nigeria's first university, and remains the center of education and commerce in the southwest. But much of Ibadan's urban infrastructure dates back to colonial and post-independence eras. Wide roads, sprawling compounds, and aging layouts that reflects the city's early boom. Enugu, on the other hand, emerged from coal, the black diamond that powered Nigeria's first industrial dreams. Today, the coal city stands as one of the best planned capital cities in Nigeria. Its road network, government quarters, and rising real estate landscape give it a modern edge. In the evening, the city lights up around Independence Layout and the new Enugu lifestyle and Gulf City, a reflection of renewal, not decay. When placed side by side, both cities mirror Nigeria's regional contrast, Ibadan's vast sprawl of heritage, and Enugu's compact, organized, and evolving modernity. Yet, in this comparison, the idea that Igboland is behind begins to collapse under the weight of visual evidence. In the heart of Anambra State lies Awka, once a quiet town of blacksmiths, now one of Nigeria's fastest evolving state capitals, and in Ondo State, Akure, a city rooted in tradition, is steadily emerging as a center of education, commerce, and administration in the southwest. Both cities share a similar destiny. They became capitals in 1991 during Nigeria's wave of state creation. From that point, Awka and Akure began their transformation, but in a strikingly different way. Awka's evolution had been largely driven by private investment and the ingenuity of its people. Anambra, with its vibrant diaspora and entrepreneurial base, channels capital into real estate, hospitality, and technology. Today, Awka's skyline is changing rapidly from the glass-fronted Anambra International Convention Center to newly modernized government buildings. Its proximity to Onitsha and Nnewi, two of Africa's most industrious commercial hubs, gives Awka an economic ecosystem few Nigerian capitals can match. Akure, by contrast, tells a story of government-led growth. Its planned layout, university community, and peaceful atmosphere makes it a stable administrative center. The city has benefited from constant infrastructural attention from successive Ondo governments, yet still remains a quiet provincial charm. However, while Akure's development appears steady, Awka's transformation feels accelerated. A city whose growth is powered less by state allocation and more by the energy of its people. From hotels to new estates, and from digital startups to transport terminals, Awka stands as proof that when citizens lead development, progress becomes inevitable. In this chapter of comparison, both capitals highlight two distinct development philosophies: the state-driven stability of Akure and the people-driven dynamism of Awka, each revealing what truly fuels Nigeria's modern urban rise. If every region has a city that embodies its soul, then Owerri and Osogbo might be their respective mirrors. Both capitals are cultural heartbeats, one in the Lodge Valley of Imo State, the other along the gentle banks of the Osun River. Owerri, fondly called the Heartland City, is known for its orderliness, its nightlife, and its stunning growth over the last 2 decades. Once a modest provincial town, Owerri has transformed into one of the most beautiful and organized capitals in Nigeria. 3-line boulevards, clean roundabouts, and a fast-growing hospitality sector have earned it the title of the cleanest capital in the southeast. Its road network, entertainment scene, and growing middle-class population projects the image of a city that is both alive and aspirational. Osogbo, the capital of Osun State, is smaller and quieter, a city of deep tradition and spirituality. It is home to the Osun Osogbo Sacred Grove, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a center of Yoruba arts and devotion. Osogbo's charm lies in its authenticity, ancient shrines, vibrant art festivals, and the serene presence of the Osun River. Yet, when viewed through the lens of infrastructure and modern city planning, it will represent a clearer picture of sustained urban renewal. Owerri's wide roads, government quarters, and public parks contrast sharply with Osogbo's narrow streets and limited transport infrastructure. While Osogbo stands proud in culture and history, Owerri leads in modern urban lifestyle and quality of life, an evolving example of how people's sense of pride can manifest in their environment. At dusk, as light rises over the Imo Concord Boulevard and music fills the air, one realizes that Owerri's spirit is both cultural and contemporary, a perfect balance of tradition and transformation. Two cities, both carved from ancient soil. Abakaliki, the capital of Ebonyi State in Nigeria's southeast. Oguta, the rock city and capital of Ogun State in the southwest. Each represents resilience, one newly built from obscurity, the other grounded in centuries of heritage. Abakaliki's transformation over the past 2 decades stands as one of Nigeria's most underestimated success stories. Once dismissed as a rural outpost, it is now one of the cleanest and most organized capitals in the East. Broad expressways, glowing street lights, modern flyovers, and the massive Centenary City project have completely redefined its skyline. The city's governor's lodge, shopping malls, and medical university all signal the ambition of a people determined to rewrite their history. Abakaliki's rise reflects a deeper narrative, a new generation of Igbo cities building modernity from the scratch. Its infrastructure is not inherited from colonial era. It is built by its own people in its own time. Oguta, by contrast, carries the majesty of history. It is the site of the legendary Olmo Rock, a symbol of refuge and identity for the Egba people. The city's landscape blends old and new ancient quarters of the Itoku and Ibara, sits beside modern estates and government buildings. Abakaliki's cultural legacy is unmatched, a city of firsts in education and printing, and still a beacon of Yoruba intellectual life. Yet, when the camera pans across the two, the contrast is subtle but powerful. Abakali remains anchored in history, beautiful but conservative in pace. Abakaliki, meanwhile, feels like a city in motion, alive with construction, renewal, and urban energy. In many ways, these two capitals symbolize the shift in Nigeria's development story. One city looking back at its legacy, the other racing forward to build one. In the quiet rhythm of southern Nigeria, two capitals often escape the spotlight: Umuahia in the east and Ado-Ekiti in the west. Both are administrative nerve centers, yet they tell contrasting stories about governance, planning, and the pace of progress. Umuahia, the capital of Abia State, holds a strategic place in Igbo history. During the Nigerian Civil War, it served as the seat of the Biafran government, a city that has known both glory and pain. Today, Umuahia is modest, clean, and peaceful. With its new government secretariat, growing road networks, and a steady rise in middle-class settlements, recent infrastructural upgrades from the Umuahia flyover project to expanded road links connecting Aba to Ohofia are gradually transforming the city's face. Still, Umuahia's strength lies not in size, but in its strategic centrality. It is the hinge city of the southeast, a connecting point that unites the 5 Igbo states through trade, transport, and culture. Its serenity and order make it one of Nigeria's most livable administrative capitals. Ado-Ekiti, meanwhile, is a strong story of education, calm, and evolving governance, known for its intellectual culture and the presence of Ekiti State University. It stands as a center of academia in the southwest. Over the years, the city has witnessed new flyovers, improved roads, and better urban design under successive governments. Yet, its growth remains measured, not as fast as Ibadan sprawl, nor as commercially vibrant as Akure. Placed side by side, Umuahia and Ado-Ekiti represent Nigeria's quieter capitals, efficient, organized, and deeply cultural. They remind us that development is not always about skyline, heights, or traffic noise. Sometimes, progress speaks softly through stability, education, and civic discipline. As night falls over both cities, one surrounded by the rolling hills of Aba and the other by the cool plains of Ekiti, we see in them some yearning that drives the Nigerian region, a desire for fairness, good governance, and a future that honors their people's dignity. Across 10 capitals, 5 from the southeast and 5 from the southwest, a clear story emerges. It is not a story of rivalry, but of misperception versus reality. It is a story that challenges the old narrative that Igboland is remote, underdeveloped, or lagging behind. From Enugu's modern boulevard to Ibadan's historic sprawl, from Awka's entrepreneurial dynamism to Akure's administrative stability, from Owerri's clean, vibrant streets to Osogbo's cultural heartbeat, from Abakaliki's fast-paced urban rise to Oguta's heritage-rich landscape, and finally, from Umuahia's strategic calm to Ado-Ekiti's scholarly grace. The evidence is undeniable. The Southeast capitals are not just keeping pace with the Southwest. In many cases, they match or even exceed them in development, planning, and quality of life. Yet, perception lags behind reality, a reminder that stories we hear are not always the stories we see. This documentary is more than a comparison. It is a call to acknowledge the truth over stereotype, fact over fiction, and progress over prejudice. As we close, remember, Nigeria's strength lies not in a single region, nor in a single city, but in the collective ambition, resilience, and innovation of its people. Whether you are watching from the heart of Lagos, the streets of London, or the suburbs of New York, take a moment to look beyond headlines. Witness the cities, witness the people, and witness the real Nigeria, diverse, ambitious, and evolving. If this journey has opened your eyes to a different side of Nigeria, subscribe to this channel for more documentaries that reveal hidden truths, challenge assumptions, and celebrate progress. Share this video with your friends and family, especially those who still believe in outdated narratives. And leave a comment below. Which capital city surprised you the most and why? Together, let's tell the story of Nigeria as it really is.